I-FLIER 103.3 FM IBADAN. I am ESTHER. ATILOLA first, the headlines. President Tinubu inaugurates rehabilitated ICC, comments Yesam Wike. Oyo government confirms no casualties in Iyamokbo Hill collapse. In education, Lagos team excels in UTME after initial glitch. And in sport, Rivers Hoopers coach Oduadu reflects on quarterfinal loss to APR. Now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu has urged the Federal Capital Territory Minister Yesam Wike to disregard detractors and focus on his transformative work in the FCT. President Tinubu gave the charge today while speaking at the inauguration ceremony of the newly rehabilitated International Conference Center in Abuja, stressing that the center's overhaul reflects his administration's commitment to excellence and quality governance. The FCT minister renamed the center as the Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center, with other halls in the facility named after the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, House of Representatives Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, and Chief Justice of Nigeria, Kudirat Kekereekun. The Securities and Exchange Commission today directed all public companies and registrars to stop treating unclaimed dividends older than 12 years as statute barred, especially those before the enactment of the Finance Act 2020. The Commission, in a circular posted on its official website, said that shareholders are entitled to continue to claim their dividends that are not statute barred, noting that the directive reaffirms the provisions of Section 60 of the Finance Act, which mandates that dividends unclaimed for over 6 years be transferred to the Unclaimed Funds Trust Fund, where they remain accessible to shareholders pending claims. Said directed activities. Spokesman of IPOB, Emma Powell, is not factionalized. Emma said Igbo should boycott June 12 activities until the Nigerian government learns to honor May 30th, the Biafra Remembrance Day. Now let's join Victoria Oyedeji for education news.
A 16-year-old student in Lagos State, Oyedamola Pampa, has achieved a remarkable aggregate score of 351 in the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, with 65 in English language, 98 in mathematics, 98 in physics, and 90 in chemistry. Speaking today in a statement, Akpampa described the feat as the result of determination, strategic preparation, and divine favor, noting that her initial score of 158 was later invalidated due to technical issues experienced at her exam center. Wife of former President Goodluck Jonathan, Patience Jonathan, has shared a candid account of her recent academic journey, revealing that she nearly abandoned.
Rest of the news. In the Paysata state, the Oyo state government has confirmed that no lives were lost following the recent tremor and rock movement at Iyamokbo Hill in the Igbeti, Olorun-Shogo local government area. In a statement signed by the State Commissioner for Information, Dr. Oyelade, today, the government attributed the disruption to national geological processes, assuring residents of Oyo State that there is no cause for alarm and advising residents living near the affected area to temporarily evacuate the site. Oyelade said the government has dispatched experts from the State Solid Mineral Development Agency, led by its Director General, Biodoni, to carry out on-site evaluations. In entertainment, popular skit maker and content creator Udaya Chidebere, popularly known as Dickin Famous, has apologized to fashion designer Vicky James as she celebrated her 30th birthday. During the lively festivities, captured in videos from Vicky's star-studded about her widely discussed wedding to her husband, Femi Atere, in 2024. He confessed that his earlier remarks were inappropriate and branded them as dark humor, expressing a genuine desire for both himself and Vicky to let go of the past and rebuild their relationship. Now to Biodun Akpeno for sports update.
Rivers Vipers head coach Ogo Daudu has admitted that too many things went wrong during his team's quarter-final defeat to APR at the Basketball African League on Monday. Speaking at a post-game press conference at the Sunday final defeat to APR at the Basketball African League on Monday. Speaking at a post-game press conference at the Sunbet Arena, Odradu described the performance as a really bad day for the team, which ultimately cost them a place in the semi-final. The Kingsmen were unable to replicate their previous 7-3 defeats against Rwanda's side, APR. Finally, in the world of sport, former Katsina United midfielder Aziz Falolu is set for a return to the Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL) following a brief spell in Libya. Falolu made the move to Libya during the 2024-2025 mid-season transfer.
Prosecuting corruption, a double jeopardy for it. This cannot continue if Nigeria is to regain its dignity among countries and end decades of plunder that have stultified developmental efforts. The judiciary, often regarded as the last hope of the common man, should be the most effective instrument in the fight against corruption. Unfortunately, the widespread use of delaying tactics by judicial officers and prosecutors, such as frivolous injunctions, endless adjournments, and filing charges before completing investigations, has rendered the judiciary ineffective. There is an urgent need to rescue the war against corruption through political will and the introduction of judicial reforms that will ensure speedy trials. Special courts should also be established across the country. Now to the Vanguard paper. Over the past fortnight, the people of Mokwa and surrounding settlements in Niger State have been engulfed in grief and misery after the flood disaster that descended on them on May 28, 2025, just as Nigerians prepared to mark the second anniversary of the current administration. The flood, which cut right through the agrarian community adjacent to the River Niger, rendered over 5,000